Welcome to the American Visual Archive, where history is preserved one image at a time. In this film, you will walk through Gunston Hall, the Virginia plantation home of George Mason, as it appeared across the 20th century, from its early years as a private residence to its preservation as a historic landmark. These rare photographs come from public archives and show the house, the grounds, and its interiors as they once were, quietly changing as time passed around them. Each image will be introduced with a brief description, so you may experience Gunston Hall just as it was seen by the photographers who stood here before us. Gunston Hall, the Virginia plantation home of George Mason, seen in the early 20th century as visitors first approached the historic estate. A closer view of Gunston Hall's front facade, showing the balanced Georgian architecture that made the house one of colonial America's finest homes. We are standing on the lawn to the left of the driveway, looking at the front of the house from an angle. Now we are standing directly in front of the house on the lawn, looking at the elegant porch, the 5 second-story windows, and the 4 tall chimneys on the roof. We are standing at the bottom of the steps leading up to the front porch. An older couple stands beside the doorway, Lewis and Eleanor Hurtle, who lived at Gunston Hall from 1912 until 1949. 4 tall white columns support the porch, and above the screened front door is a half-circle window with a patterned design. We are now looking at the house from the rear, just beyond the back porch, with its ornate wood trim and arched openings. We are standing on the pathway between tall boxwoods, looking straight back at the rear of the house. Still on the gravel path between towering boxwoods, we reach a crossing of walkways and look back toward the house. Continuing farther along the main gravel path, with tall boxwoods on both sides, we pause once more to look back at the rear of the house. Now, off the main path, we stand in the backyard beside a fenced enclosure of wooden posts and wire, its grass neatly kept. From here, we look back toward the rear of the house, where a side addition with a sloped roof, covered porch and windows comes into view. Standing just off a gravel path, we look across a densely planted, carefully manicured garden. In the background, a 2-story outbuilding connected to a decorative pergola rises beyond the greenery. Just outside a brick wall and iron gate, we face the entrance to the graveyard. The gate stands open, inviting visitors to step inside. This is the family cemetery of George Mason, the author of the Virginia Declaration of Rights, where he rests alongside his wife, children, and generations of his descendants. Many of the graves here are unmarked, and historians believe the wider grounds may also hold the resting places of enslaved people who lived and worked on this land. Members of the Garden Club gathered at Gunston Hall in 1922, standing along the garden paths and near the pergola, dressed in coats and hats as they socialise among the flower beds. A group of Garden Club visitors posed together at Gunston Hall in 1922, with owners Eleanor and Louis Hurtle standing among them, all dressed for the cool weather. The central passage of Gunston Hall, showing a side table and mirror, a couch with pillows, and the stairway leading to the second floor, with the garden visible through the far doorway. The Palladian room, looking west, with 2 high-backed chairs placed on either side of the fireplace, flanked by cupboards with decorative moulding and a large rug spread across the floor. The Palladian room, looking southeast, with 2 wooden chairs and a writing desk set into the corner, surrounded by decorative moulding, a small lamp, and portraits on the walls. This sitting room, later to become the dining room, features arched wood moulding above the doors and fireplace, a white marble fireplace surrounded with grey veining, an oriental tapestry on the wall, 2 chairs, and a small table with a lamp beside the window. In this first-floor bedchamber, 2 doors flank the fireplace, above which hang 4 pages of handwritten script, with a small rack of fireplace tools on one side and a simple chair resting against the wall. Here we stand just beyond the square entrance columns, looking down the driveway toward the front porch of Gunston Hall. From the front yard, we look upward at Gunston Hall, its facade framed by tall sections of ivy and carefully shaped boxwoods, while a weathered old tree stands quietly to the left. Still in the front yard, we see Gunston Hall with a covered porch addition on the left, partially veiled by 2 large trees, whose branches frame the house like a curtain. From an elevated vantage point, we look down the gravel pathway flanked by tall boxwoods leading toward the pergola and outbuilding, with carefully shaped garden beds stretching outward and the Potomac River visible in the far distance. A low-angle view of the rear porch highlights its graceful arches, with grass rising in the foreground. Standing on the gravel path, we look back toward the rear porch, framed by tall boxwoods on either side. From within the garden, we look back toward the rear of the house, where roses, shrubs, and young boxwoods are arranged in straight, orderly lines. From the north, a long gravel pathway lined with tall trees leads the eye toward the front of Gunston Hall in the distance. Unlike earlier photographs, the surrounding grounds appear open and largely free of the dense shrubs and plantings that once framed the house. This photograph shows the east side of the house. A side entrance door is visible, and a small wooden picket fence, covered in organic growth, stands nearby. Here we stand at an angle facing the east and north sides of Gunston Hall. The side addition with the sloped roof, seen in earlier years, is no longer present. The side entrance door is visible, and just below it, a basement entrance can be seen. We are standing at the back of the house, viewing the west and south sides at an angle. A side entrance is visible, and the surrounding area shows no lush landscaping. This view focuses on the west side of the home. The brickwork and quoins at each corner are clearly visible, along with the second-floor windows and 2 chimneys. The house is bordered by a manicured lawn, with no plants, shrubs, or bushes nearby. A long gravel pathway, lined on both sides with very tall trees, leads toward the front of the home in the distance. We are positioned about halfway down this walkway. We remain on the gravel walkway, now having cleared the tall trees that flank the path. A few mature trees stand in the front yard, and the house is directly ahead, approximately 100 yards away. From this angle, we see a partially obscured outbuilding to the left, a large mature tree to the right, and the front of the house set at an angle in the background. We are looking at the front of the house, which is perfectly centered in the view. There are no bushes, plants, or shrubs, only grass stretching up to the brick exterior. The driveway that once ran parallel in front of the home is no longer visible, replaced entirely by lawn. A carriage stone remains in place to the left of the porch steps, once used to help passengers step into and out of their carriages. We are standing just to the left of a tall, mature tree facing the front of the house at an angle. To the left of the main structure are several buildings that form the kitchen yard. We are standing on brick pavers in front of the porch. The ivy bushes that once flanked the stone steps are gone, and black wrought iron railings now line the stairway. Standing beside the home, we look across the front porch from approximately 12 feet away. Large stone blocks supporting the porch are visible beneath it, and a few wooden chairs rest nearby. You are watching original photographs taken decades ago, quietly documenting the changes that unfolded at Gunston Hall across the 20th century. We are standing on the gravel pathway behind the house, between tall boxwoods on either side, looking toward the back porch. We are walking out from the tall boxwoods and now facing the rear of the home. In this view, we are standing approximately 15 feet away from the rear porch. We are only a few steps from the stone stairway leading up to the back porch and rear entrance. Black wrought iron railings line the steps. This angled view of the back porch allows us to see the arches of the porch and the decorative black wrought iron railings. From the corner of the house, we look across the rear facade, seeing a clear side view of the back porch and its architectural design. Standing just off the rear corner of the home, we see the house and the mature trees that surround it. This perspective shows the neatly trimmed boxwoods arranged in several distinct garden designs. In this view, the trimmed boxwoods, bushes and mature trees define the layout of the garden. From the gazebo, we see straight lines and rectangular boxwood patterns forming the garden design. This view shows the kitchen yard area with the kitchen, well, dairy and wash house arranged from left to right. In the foreground, a wooden gate and fence stand before clotheslines strung across the yard. Beyond them, we see portions of the main house and the kitchen yard buildings. Wooden posts and twine form a simple clothesline in the foreground, while the kitchen, dairy, well and wash house stand beyond. In this view, a grandfather clock and a couch stand against the left wall. To the right is a small table with candles and the staircase leading to the second level. In the distance is the door to the north entrance of the house. This entrance is considered the main doorway of the home. In George Mason's time, he would have walked through this door daily. 2 chairs flank the doorway on either side. Here we look toward the south entrance, which leads out to the back garden. This doorway, located just before the staircase, leads into the smaller passage. This photograph shows the carved wooden steps and banister leading to the second floor. 2 chairs and a small table are arranged nearby. At the top of the stairs, 3 arches supported by 2 white columns open into the second floor hallway. 2 sets of deer horns are mounted above the arches. 2 cupboards stand against the far wall, their shelves holding serving plates. The fireplace is laid with wood, ready for a cold evening. A wing-back chair and small table sit to the left, while to the right, An antique pool cue and ball game table rests upon a large woven rug. This view offers a closer look at the antique pool cue and ball game table. In the left rear corner stands a card table surrounded by 4 wooden chairs, while 2 large windows in the background allow sunlight to fill the room. Once used as a sitting room, this space now serves as the formal dining room. A large cherry-coloured table is set for 6, prepared as if dinner is about to be served. From the head of the table, we look toward the fireplace. Glasses and silverware are arranged neatly across the dining table. 2 cupboards line the back wall, one closed, the other open to reveal shelves of books and a small clock. Wing-back chairs flank the fireplace, which is laid with logs. To the right, a writing desk holds papers, a feather quill pen, and an ink bottle. This view of the little parlour highlights the large windows, each fitted with built-in seats for resting. A tall wooden dresser stands in the left foreground, while the corner of a bed is visible to the right. In the background, one cupboard stands open and another remains closed. 2 chairs sit before the fireplace with a small table between them, and a woven rug rests on the floor nearby. Tall windows with elegant draperies line the back wall. A wooden armoire stands at the centre of the room. The corner of a bed is visible, along with a chair and small table positioned near the fireplace. A single window looks out toward the boxwoods in the garden. A simple wing-back chair and small table create a quiet reading space beside the fireplace. From the second-floor window, we look out across the garden, filled with green plants, bushes, boxwoods and shrubs. In the basement, chipped white-painted brick walls surround a brick arch structure that supports the fireplaces and chimney stack above. A detailed view of the ceiling cornice in the Palladian room, showing carefully carved woodwork painted in traditional white. A closer look at the ceiling cornice reveals the precision and layered design of the moulding. The trim surrounding the Palladian room doorway displays intricate carved detailing, finished in white paint. This doorway connecting the Palladian room and dining room features finely crafted wood moulding and balanced proportions. From the dining room side, the doorway framing shows the same careful symmetry and decorative carving. The door in the little parlour, leading into a smaller passage, is framed by delicate carved trim. A close view of the trim at the base of the Palladian room doorway highlights the layered woodwork and painted finish. The upper corner of the Palladian room doorway reveals precise carving and clean architectural lines. The upper section of the doorway shows refined moulding details, carefully shaped and painted in white. On the north wall of the dining room, 2 tall windows frame a decorative oblong mirror, centred between them. Beneath each window, small inset seats offer a quiet place to rest. These tall dining room windows are fitted with interior shutters, designed to close when the sunlight is no longer desired. A close view of the Palladian room window reveals its refined trim and carefully proportioned design. Inside the cupboard on the west wall of the Palladian room, Elegant serving plates rest upright on the shelves, with an ornamental vase placed above. Above this cupboard is a patterned half-circle decoration. Inside, shelves hold candlestick holders, writing paper, jars, a hand mirror, and a small chest resting below. The cupboard on the east wall of the little parlour stands closed, its contents hidden from view. This close view of the northwest corner highlights the stacked coins and the well-preserved brickwork that forms the structure of the house. At the southwest corner, the cornerstone shows signs of age and weathering, while the coins above remain in strong condition. A detailed view of the stair bracket reveals the carved scrollwork that projects outward beneath each step in the central passage. Suspended between the arches of the central passage is a ceiling-mounted pendant shaped like an acorn and tapering downward. As we step back from these details, we are reminded that Gunston Hall is not only brick and timber, but the work of skilled hands, shaped with patience and care, and preserved so that craftsmanship like this may still be seen today. Thank you for spending this time in Gunston Hall's past. If these images meant something to you, feel free to leave a comment below, or share what place or time you would like to see preserved next. And if you enjoy historic photography, please consider subscribing to American Visual Archive. Until next time, this is Eleanor.